Solve your marital problems. This is a relationship and marriage podcast by Jongimpi Papi. Today I want us to focus on learning to solve our problems in marriage. And let me begin by saying that in marriage, even your marriage, there will be problems. There will be challenges. I know when we are in the honeymoon phase, we think we will never have problems. But there will be problems. Sometimes not even having problems can itself be a problem. So that's not the issue. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here to convince you that there will be problems. That's not the point. The point here is, what are you going to do with those problems? What are you going to do with those challenges? How are you going to solve them? So it's not how many challenges you might have or how many problems you will have, how many conflicts you will have, how many differences you will have. But what are you going to do? It's easy to list all your marital issues and deduce from the list that your marriage is an unhappy one. So you want to exit and look for another person and enter into a marriage. I promise you, as you will see, you will also have problems, maybe new ones, different size. What we often forget or may be ignorant of is that happy marriages are not necessarily problem-free. Even when you see someone's marriage at a distance and say, oh, they are so happy. Yes, they are happy, but they've worked at it. They've dealt with issues. They may look happy. It is because they've worked at it. They didn't just wake up and got a gift in a box called happiness. Happy marriages exhibit a high level of conflict resolution skills. While challenges and conflicts are not invited, you don't call them, you don't stand at the door and invite challenges in many cases, unless there's something wrong with you. But when they arrive, when they confront us, we must deal with them. We must not ignore them, hoping that they will disappear miraculously. That's being childish, complaining about your differences or registering your unhappiness. I'm unhappy about this. I don't like this and this and that. This is what we spend our time on. That's fine. Now that we have observed, now that you can pinpoint the challenges, you can pinpoint the problems, the conflict, the differences that are there that are causing unhappiness. Sit down and work out a strategy. How are you going to deal with this? What plan are you putting on the table to deal with these things? It's no use complaining and going up and down and telling everybody about your problems. What are you doing? You think you've got weeds in your garden, so you tell everybody, I've got weeds in my garden, and you look at their garden, there are no weeds, and you say, I wish I could have a garden like yours. Look at what he does. Look at what your neighbor does. He wakes up early in the morning. He weeds those things out. He uproots the weeds. That's why there are no weeds. So maybe you should do the same. Ask, what have you done to have a garden like that? Take those weeds out. You think your plants are withering. Stop complaining that your plants are withering. Stop complaining that the sun is too hot. Water your plant. Makes a big difference. You will see your plant sprouting. Remove those weeds. Be prepared. Roll the sleeves and work at your marriage. We work at our careers. We study. We do this. But when it comes to marriage, we think it's going to be a free flow, gear on neutral, and the car is on its own. We have to be prepared mentally to work at the challenges we face. Then you can't let this be done by one person. Both of us, we committed to this thing. Let's sit down. Let's make it work. In my view, the easy access to the exit clause, to the door, what we call divorce or separation, depletes the energy we need to resolve our challenges. What you are, the question is, what are you doing to solve your challenges? Not how many challenges do you have. If you are not high on commitment, if whenever you see a small semblance of conflict, then you're ready to pack your bags and you go, then maybe you need to buy new training shoes because you're going to be running for the rest of your life. You think sleeping in another room is the way to solve your problems. That may not be the best. You think staging disappearing eggs and embarking on silent treatment is the best way to solve your problem. That may not be the best way of dealing with your challenges. Challenges usually call for changes. When there are challenges, maybe the way you've been doing things, you need to look into it. You need to introspect. You need to check. Stop thinking that what you are doing will always be done that way forever. See if you are not being challenged to change in the way you do things, in the way you are, in the way you see things, in the way you behave. I know sometimes because we are too lazy to change our views, to change our outlook, our perspective, to change our behavior. So we'd rather change the partner. Go look for another partner. Yeah, you look for another partner, you may get another problems. You look for a new partner, you will get new problems. You'll get new challenges. Maybe not the same as the other partner. Maybe that's not the best way. Even trying to change this one that you have and mold him into your image. Sometimes the best things in most cases is to change yourself, work on yourself. You don't have to compromise your principles, your values, but check to see if these are principles. Some of the things we call principles are just opinions from your background, just traditional views from your background. Sometimes they may even be principles. I'm talking about biblical principles, but how do you apply them? Try and sprinkle some kindness even as you hold to your principles. Find a better way of applying them. Adopt a new way of applying your principle. Like I say, you are firm on this, but why don't you also put a smile on your face? Why don't you also be kind while you are firm? Try other methods, but the principle may remain the same. But also make sure that that's the principle. Change brings growth in marriage. And sometimes growth is painful. We don't want to grow, but growth sprouts where in most cases there's pain. And if you cannot take the pain, then you're not ready to grow. Life is short. Stop being stubborn. Listen and learn. Read books on marriage. Attend seminars. Seek counsel. And remember, God is on your side. He created marriage, so don't shut him off. Invite him and take him seriously. God bless you.
The Marriage and Relationship Podcast was brought to you by Dr. Papu. Dr. Papu is a devout Christian leader, an inspirational speaker, and an experienced pastor who has worked with couples for the last 35 years in his ministry. You can record and submit your questions to Dr. Papu by following this link, www.anchor.fm/Dr. J. Papu. If you'd like to have private consultations or counseling sessions, please send your email to drpapuonline@yahoo.com. That's DRPAPUONLINE@yahoo.com.